Hey everyone, welcome back to the Archangel 15. This is going to be called November 21st Weekly Post or Weekly Report. I recently didn't do these in the past. I started to, given the severity and just the seriousness of various situations around the world and the geopolitical sense right now. I mentioned before I have this immense, just divine energy and intuition that I've been channeling lately. I would go as far to say that something definitely is going to happen in the very foreseeable future, not a matter of if, but when. I want to start with a disclaimer here. Like all this stuff that I have, like please do not attempt to take legal action against me. If you don't like what I'm saying, please just stop watching. Simple as that. Uh, like I've, in my opinion, earned the right to speak extemporaneously, spontaneously, out of kilter, whatever you want to call it. I have 230 presentations, travel logs, cooking stuff, all kinds of really the cloud formation stuff that nobody else even does or even is capable of doing. I've earned the right to speak, to say what I want to say. I've been to Russia 4 times. I've been to Ukraine twice. I've been to many other former Soviet republics. I have a pretty good sense of what's going on, from at least from the Soviet perspective. I have ties to the Chinese People's Republic of China. In my opinion, I consider myself a member of the Liberation Army of China, and like I've done a lot of work, basically for China and Russia, and like I'm proud of it. You come arrest me on espionage, see if you can do it. Anyhow, um, I mentioned before also that I'm like attempting to use the like natural forces to leverage certain entities into like basically obtaining what I need to basically bring out free energy and do other things. And like I'm not going to do it in this country. Like I said, I will take all my ideas, and like I have many of them. Many of them are like suppressed. They're not my original thoughts. They've been, like I said, deeply suppressed for many years by the oil industry and the oil industry kids, the silver spoons that don't want you to know that we had beautiful alternatives to clean energy many, many years ago, and that we've been needlessly destroying our earth, raping it by drilling holes into it, and polluting our beautiful oxygen and depleting it with hydrocarbons. It's like point blank. It was not necessary. Um, there's a small group of people that are a serious problem here. They see what I'm doing and are terrified that they're going to have to face the music. They are already facing the music in a sense. If you look at what's happening to Trump, and these people will most likely throw the world into a nuclear holocaust. And like I guess God's will be done on earth as it is in heaven, whatever. I've had this like really weird like conspiracy theory for a long time that like I always thought for years and years if they were ever going to do like a roundup for a new world order, like basically like you always hear like fill the internment camps, when would they do it? Think about it. Okay, like you may think like, oh, wintertime would be a good time because people can't live outside, then they're forced to have to go. My guess is Thanksgiving. What day is everybody typically home? Thanksgiving. Like, just keep your eyes on Thanksgiving. Like, this is not the first Thanksgiving that I've had weird feelings about something ready to go down. Like, there really needs to be an unveiling about my presence and who I am. Like, on some screw the rest of my family. Like, they sold their soul to the oil industry and Satan a long time ago. And, like, I have connections that basically protect me to do what I want to do that are, like, above their connections. And, like, they're going to have to realize this very soon. And, essentially, like, there's other things that are going on as well. Like this is stuff that like is top secret stuff that I'm telling you, like from my own sources. It's like essentially about 175,000, if not more, troops have been directly ordered, like a direct memorandum, to like vacate their military bases in certain European areas. They're like they already know there's going to be like a huge battle zone that's going to go on there. It's going to be like it's going to turn into a nuclear Armageddon. It's just like a matter of when. Like when they do the unveiling for me, I have like a couple stipulations. The first thing I'm going to do is get up and take a meat cleaver to the Prescott family and the Bush family and demand justice, from the stolen babies to like the fake wars to 9/11. That's just a few. We're going to leave it there. We don't need to go on and on and make it. We'll have to do a separate uh, tribunal for him when that time comes. Uh, Also, Obama. Like I would make Obama forfeit his entire life worth, his Cape Cod mansions, everything to the Kremlin, to pay them back for creating ISIS and Putin having to clean them up. In my opinion, ISIS that was funded by the United States military and Obama. And keep in mind, the United States is the biggest ally of Israel, and we had Obama supporting ISIS and also put Ukraine on the OFAC sanctions list in 2014, and they haven't come off of it since then. And anyhow, so like I said, he in my opinion, ISIS was more better suited, more capable than Ukraine was. Like what's happening in Ukraine like I said, what you're hearing and seeing on the news is not true. Notice how like there was like a real intense dialogue that started, and then like all of a sudden it backed down, and you like turn on the news, and like the news reporters look like they're crying every time that like, they come on the TV, or like they were shook. And a lot of the problem is the Germans. Like I said, the Germans have like this fetish with wanting to just piss off the Russians and trying to take over the Russians. And like I said, we'll see what happens. Like I said, the next time around, like I really believe that almost like they're trying to facilitate like some type of exchange for like me being so prominent of a figure in the Russian society and like actually doing stuff to like hurt the United States. They're gonna like try to make it look like, oh, Europe won in Ukraine or something like that, when that's really not the case. A lot of the problem is Matt Drudge. I'm a huge fan of the Drudge Report. Emailed him several times. They never got back to me, but a couple times I've emailed him with like watch yourself type stuff, and stuff happened afterwards. From my alchemy, it tells me that Matt Drudge is in a Pentagon penthouse, like basically like he's in like Washington D.C. under like very very deep underground in a military bunker with the Pentagon, and he's controlling the news feeds along with other people, like just like they're controlling the economies and other things from like like a quasi governmental or quasi location or something like that. Like in my opinion, Trump, like I'm talking to you, Donald J. Trump, if you want to save yourself, like my best advice to you is like start like declare a press conference right now, get up and start meat cleaving the Bushes and like explain about the stolen kids. And like the truth is they have more to like. I really believe that the Trump could be vindicated if he would really come out and say the truth about the Bush family. And that's really what needs to happen. And I hate Trump. Like he's involved with the stolen kids and everything too. And I've laid out very strict guidelines in my correspondence about like things I demand from like Amazon company, like driving their every single truck of theirs to the scrapyard to like I'm not going to get into it any further. But like I said, like years ago, I inquired about like Amazon and Walmart being monopolies, and like they came after people for much less than they never came after them for. And like there's just certain things that just really really bother me. Like we pay probably billions and trillions of dollars to the FTC and others, SEC, others that are supposed to enforce this stuff. It's Zionist pigs, Zionist scumbags. I actually got a return call from the FTC on this. They said if you can prove something that gives Walmart or Amazon an unfair advantage over their competition, we'll listen to you. I said, easy, done. I said they have their own transportation hubs. It gives them an unfair advantage. And like it's a truth. They're the only two companies that have their own two transportation hubs. It really does. How's Acme going to compete? How are other people going to compete to the level that they do? Maybe not them, but like you get the point. I predict that there's going to be I'm not trying to sound like Nostradamus here, but like there's going to be a series of like landslides, like earthquakes, probably like tectonic activity that's going to like open up Pandora's box and cause a hellfire storm that like in my opinion could have been avoided. And like I already have my plans in place. Like when I get what I want, day number one, I'm gone. Like I'm going to go fly to the border of Mongolia, and I'm going to attempt to cross into Lake Baikal region. There's like only like Italy, all these countries in Europe have thousands or hundreds of UNESCO World Heritage sites. Russia, even though their cathedrals, in my opinion, are equally, if not more beautiful than the Italian ones, aren't on there. The only one place that's a World Heritage site in Russia, Lake Baikal. Ask why. Ask why. When the shit starts to hit the fan, like are these UNESCO heritage sites even going to matter anymore? I've talked to my friends in Russia, and they told me that their opinion is that there will be a nuclear war, but it will not affect direct cities. That the infrastructure will be too valuable, and the damage will be more effective by doing it either in the ionosphere or downwind from you get what I'm saying, from the target location. In my opinion, there's probably already nuclear warfare going on, and like what I'm doing already, like I'm already seeing amazing results in my attempts to leverage certain entities. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Like they're probably asking themselves, if he has the abilities to leverage us, he probably has the ability to leverage small countries and probably the entire world at some point in time. I don't want to sound far out there. Like anybody who's listening to this or watching this thinks I'm crazy, just watch my abilities to control the ionosphere and control cloud or manifest cloud formations, whatever. Also, this is my air show. Like I said, that's what gives me the right to say this. Like I've proven it beyond a reasonable doubt that I really do have amazing abilities. And like I said, these are worth trillions of dollars in the event of nuclear warfare. And yet these people treat me like a slave and a prisoner. I have a list of like 537 things that they've done to me and my family over the years. Like my inheritance, like I should have had millions and millions and millions of dollars to inheritance. And like I said, these people are just evil Zionist scum that are just hell bent and set against me not having any kids. Like I said, I will have a kid or several kids, probably at least two. And they're not gonna, like I said, my goal is to like shed my scummy German genetics into like beautiful Chinese imperial genetics and create my own dynasty and never come back. Never come back. Um, anyways, it didn't have to be this way either. So, anyways, there's probably already nuclear warfare going on in Ukraine, in my opinion. Like, I really believe it. Like, there's a lot like this not being talked about, and the whole thing with Matt Drudge. Like, I really think it's that he personally has an issue with Putin because he's a homosexual, or like supposedly he's a homosexual. I didn't know this till recently, but if you search Matt Drudge's wife, it's like it says he's gay, and I like Putin's like a stand up guy, and like I really believe that like the whole thing with the whole gay and the two things that affected the gay and lesbian agenda in this country started with Ellen DeGenerate, and like the two thing one was like a lot of the people that are become gay and lesbian are probably victims of sexual abuse when they were young. A lot of men especially. And number two, I believe it was like population control. It was like to try to like basically push for population control in a sense, like through some obscure way. Anyhow, keep your engineering, to yourself. Like I said, like I don't need like the government. There's this band Korn that has this song "Evil Evolution." If you get a chance, check it out. Maybe I'll post it in the intro. But it's a really impactful song, Korn Evolution. And they're trying to say now that Iran is going to detonate at the World Cup. I can tell you right now that if Iran wanted to detonate on them, that they would have done it already. Like they're not that demonic void of a presence of void of evil people or whatever. The whole thing gets me really worked up. Like I said, look at Iranian architecture. Just search it in Google, Iranian architecture. You tell me one country that has more beautiful architecture than Iran or Uzbekistan. Amazing, beautiful history back to the Silk Road. And this, like, essentially it ties together the bigger picture of, like, Persia, Russia, Ukraine, China, and others like Manchuria, Japan, Korea, etc. And anyhow, I'm going to end here. As always, thank you for your time on the Archangel 15. Please forgive my sense of indignation here. I'm actually a pretty cool person and level-headed. Anybody who knows me knows, like, if you have a problem with me, more than likely it's your problem. And I hope all is well for Thanksgiving. I don't want to put a damper on the holiday spirit here, so please enjoy what time we do have on this earth and enjoy your families. May truth and good always defeat lies and darkness and evil.